Martin Ødegaard is back to his brilliant best. Arsenal's 3-0 win over Nottingham Forest was a showcase of his playmaking, leadership and influence on the team. I don't find it a coincidence that this is Ødegaard's first game in the Emirates Stadium since August, and this is arguably Arsenal's best performance of the season. Martin Ødegaard did everything. Tactically he was brilliant, his playmaking was outstanding, defensively he was pretty good, he got an assist for the Saka goal, and he was a huge reason why Arsenal just had our best performance of the season. A huge reason, if not the reason. And the thing is, Nottingham Forest aren't an easy team. Before this game, they were level on points with us. They were a really good team. I made a video about them on my football channel. They were really good at beating quote-unquote bigger teams. They beat Liverpool in Anfield this season. This Arne Slot Liverpool lost to Nottingham Forest. Yet we went out there with a bit between our teeth. After this international break, this whole Arsenal team looked so fresh, so rejuvenated, and so ready. From the first minute, we were by far the better team. We completely dominated, and I really think a huge reason for that, as good as guys like Mikel Arteta were, as good as guys like Bukayo Saka was, I think a huge reason for it is because of Martin Ødegaard. And bear in mind, we had a really rotated team. Jesus was starting, Trossard was starting over Martinelli, although it depends who you think is the number one there. And then we had Mikel Arteta starting over Declan Rice. It was a really rotated team. It was not our full-strength team by any means. Also, again, no Thomas Partey. Partey was on the bench with Jorginho starting. Martin Ødegaard looked back to his brilliant best, and honestly it was so refreshing to see because we were finally playing some fluid football. And you look at the phase after the international break previously where we played Bournemouth and we lost to them, and we only had one win, I think it was, or two wins. We won against Shakhtar and against Preston, and we drew and lost the rest of the games. In those games, none of those games we were really fluid in. We weren't really fluid, we weren't suffocating teams in the final third. Yet this game we were playing these small little neat passes in and around the area, suffocating Nottingham Forest, and ended up winning 3-0 thanks to a goal from Ethan Nwaneri, a goal from Bukayo Saka, and a beautiful goal from Thomas Partey. The thing that Ødegaard did so well in this 4-3-3, I mean, Mikel Arteta and him looked really good together in the midfield. I think that was very interesting. I thought Thomas Partey looked really good in the second half. But in the midfield, Martin Ødegaard, the way he just keeps finding space. Forest can do anything they like. They can man mark him, they can zonal mark him, they can do whatever they like, and always seemed like Martin Ødegaard always found space in and around the area. And on the edge of the box, he was playing some really good passes, defense splitting passes, small little passes, and every time it was making Nottingham Forest on the back ropes and they didn't know where the ball was going. It was beautiful to watch Saka and Ødegaard link up the whole game. And again, this is a huge reason why I think Arsenal is so good. All of that on top of the leadership Ødegaard brought and brings, I thought was outstanding in the game. And I mean, look at the assist, right? It was a beautiful pass. I think it was from Mikel Arteta to find Saka on the edge of the area. Saka then finds Ødegaard, and Ødegaard's deft touch splits Forest defense, perfectly setting up Saka, who made a really good little run with nice feet, and he put up a beautiful shot into the back of the net, kind of like a flash missile. And that's Ødegaard's second assist in the league this season, which doesn't sound a lot, but it isn't a lot because he's been out for so long. But then you look at his stats from the game, right? Chances created is 6, which is the most on the pitch. Accurate passes was 60 out of 67. Ødegaard's passes into the final third were 12. I remember a game when Ødegaard wasn't playing. I can't remember the game, but it was the second half, and with 0 successful passes into the final third in that second half. Off Ødegaard alone in this game, we had 12 passes into the final third. Absolutely mental. And then defensively, Ødegaard, as always, did his work. He was pressing to disrupt Forest build up from the front as usual, but his stats were 2 recoveries and 4 out of 7 duels won. I mean, with Ødegaard orchestrating, Arsenal dominated possession, completing 83 touches in the final third and dictating the game's tempo. It seems so easy and so effortless for Martin Ødegaard to just pass through and keep breaking this Nottingham Forest defense. This Forest defense was one of the best defenses in the league. Even after the Newcastle loss, it was still one of the best defenses in the league, and honestly we made them look like an average to mid-table team under Martin Ødegaard and with this new Arsenal team. It was so beautiful to watch and such a breath of fresh air after the previous games we've been watching of Arsenal. And once again, you look at Ødegaard's stats again, 9 touches in the opposition box, 3 out of 4 successful dribbles. It was an outstanding performance from the captain, and honestly, if he can keep fit now, fingers crossed we can keep him fit, this Arsenal team, I said in a previous video, but we could start rallying and could start playing some good football. We saw Man City just lose to Spurs. Liverpool are set to play on Sunday, so we never know what could happen. The league is still there for the taking. I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. This performance really looked like the Arsenal that we saw last season, the dominating Arsenal, the one that couldn't lose a game. This looked like that Arsenal and was so good to see. And I mean, outside of stats and everything, there were moments of magic that Ødegaard just made look so easy. I can't even remember what happened exactly, but he kind of won the ball and he played a La Croqueta while scooping the ball in the air, and he had so many good neat turns, and he kept the Nottingham Forest defense. They could press him all they like, but he'd use his body. Even though he's not a big player, he'd use his body perfectly to shield the ball, or his feet would just be outstanding. He's just so fluid and so good on the ball. Everything we did in that final third that was good and productive came from Martin Ødegaard. And then we replaced Martin Ødegaard with Ethan Nwaneri. Nwaneri looks very, very good. He gets himself a goal. I mean, it was a perfect evening. You couldn't ask for anything better. 3 points, 3 goals, a clean sheet. Martin Ødegaard with a man of the match performance. Bukayo Saka looks arguably like one of the best players in the world at the moment. I mean, this Arsenal team performance was outstanding, and Ødegaard was amazing. This wasn't just a good performance from Ødegaard, it was a masterclass in midfield control. Arsenal fans will hope to see this level of dominance from their captain throughout the rest of the season, and I am one of them. Do you think Ødegaard is the best midfielder in the Premier League right now? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.